Hey there, friends. So normally um, I wouldn't go live this late in the evening, but instead of putting this off till tomorrow, I said, why not just go live now? So that's what replays are for if everybody doesn't catch it. But I know there's some people who the feeling or thinking about your career doesn't just shut off at 5 p.m. or even 7 p.m. or whenever you finish dinner, you just go right to bed. For so many people, they are going to sleep wondering about, or they're staying up wondering about what the next step is in their career. Or if you're unemployed right now, you're wondering, what do I do next? And so I wanted to create a stream for those people who are up dealing with that kind of challenge. And for those who don't catch it, they can always catch the replay. But the purpose of tonight's conversation is really around goal setting and limiting beliefs. If you've seen any of my platforms, you know that I'm launching a group coaching program specifically for finance and accounting professionals. It's a 12-week program. And one of the key areas within that program is goal setting and limiting beliefs. The reason that this is so important is that because for many people, our careers just happen to us. Perhaps we graduated from school, we graduated from a program, a certification, and we got the good job, and we've just been doing the good job, right? We've been going and earning a paycheck, and we're just going through the motions. Or perhaps we did the good job one place, we leave, we go to another company, and we do the exact same thing. And our careers are just kind of going through the motions. But how often do we actually take a step back and say, what is it that I actually want out of my career? What goals do I have for my own success? What is my career vision? And this is part of the reason that people get stuck, they get burnt out, they get bored, is perhaps the work is boring. Perhaps the work that you're doing is boring, what have you. But you also, yes, Dan, thank you for joining. I am live right now. So thank you so much for joining and being here. But for many of us, we don't go through this process to think about, and I've lost my place. Sorry, Dan, I lost my place. But just going back to the beginning, thinking about what is our next steps in our career? What is it that we actually want? Are we just going through the motions every day? Are we doing the job that someone told us that we should do? Are we doing the job that our degree says, hey, if you do this, if you get this degree, you go and you do this job forever, you work for 30 years, you get a plaque, and that's all you get. So many of us are going through those motions. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is to help you to start to break that mold in your career and actually getting specific about what you want for your career. And what I mean by that is it's easy to say that, hey, today I'm doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and tomorrow I want to be the VP or the CEO. Sure, that's a goal, but it's a goal that has no game plan, because if you're in one place today and that role is 20 years away or 10 years away, what do you plan on doing in the meantime? What are the action steps that you need to take in the middle of that? And so when I want to talk about goal setting, it's about first thinking about, what does success look like to me in a real sense? Is it that you want to have a certain position? Is it that you want to have a certain income? Is it that you want to have a certain type of work-life balance or work-life prioritization, as I call it? What does success look like to you? And really looking at that at a top level. Once you start to make that assessment as to what success looks like to you, then you're able to start building goals. Part of the challenge is that when you don't know what success looks like to you, then it's a hard time for you to set goals, because what are you going after? You don't have a plan. And so thinking about your career right now, if you're working a job and you're not happy with it, and you're not happy with the kind of work that you're doing, have you taken the time to think about what success looks like to you? If this job isn't it, what is it for you? What is that kind of opportunity for you? And then once you have that, now we can start to build goals. So I'll give you an example. At one point in my career, I wanted to be a CFO. So a chief financial officer. That was one of my goals, or what success looked like to me, excuse me. So the vision of success was becoming a CFO in a Fortune 100 company and making a whole lot of money, having a big organization that I'm running. I had that view of success. But I took a step back and said, well, if I want to be a CFO by, say, this point in my life, 40, 50, whatever it is, what are the action steps that I need to take ahead of that? What kind of positions do I need to take to be in order to build up the skill set, build up the network, build up the expertise in order to put myself in a position to be in the running for a role like that? Do I need to go back to school? Is there education? So when I was having this first vision of being a CFO, this was when I had come out of my undergraduate program and had started my first job. And I was thinking about what success looked like to me back then. And I knew that if I wanted to do more and be more in my career, the skill set that I had built up in that time frame would not be enough. I could stay at the company, or I could try to leapfrog by going back and getting an MBA. And so with going back to school and getting my MBA, I was able to then kind of take some leaps forward in the salary first and foremost. I'll just be transparent. When my first job out of college, I was making 40 grand. My first job out of grad school, I was making 100 grand. So just for math's sake. So I was able to leapfrog from a financial perspective, but also in terms of the opportunities I was able to get because of the skill set that I built up from that program, and not having to work 5 or 10 years. I was able to go to grad school for 2 years and then go and get into more senior positions upon graduation. So that's the idea as to, really thinking about what success looks like to you, and then what goals do you need to set? What kind of things you need to do in between to get to that ultimate vision of success? But one of the other things I want to think about is when we're setting goals or we're looking at visions of success, are we looking at these things because someone else told us that was the right idea for us? So when you think about the career path that you're on right now, and if you're looking at success, using myself as an example, being a CFO, is that vision of success something I truly want? Or is it because it sounds good? Or someone else says that this is what I should be doing? And so I'm asking you, when you're thinking about what your success is and what the goals you have for your life, are they coming from within? Are they coming from things that feel aligned and feel good to you? Or is it just based on what someone else says, or what society says, or what you think you should do because of the degree you have? Part of the reason you may feel empty, you may feel burnt out, you may feel overwhelmed, you may feel over it, is because you're walking a path that belongs to someone else. It's not the path that is truly for you. It's not the path that feels aligned for you and in terms of what you want your life to look like. So at this stage in my career, I have no interest in being a CFO, none at all. I have put that to the side, but that may be for somebody else. And so the question I have is, what is your goal, and why do you want it? Is it because you want it for yourself? Or is it because somebody else is telling you that, hey, well, with your degree, you could be an X, Y, and Z, or with your skill set, you could get to here or there? It's always about, what do I want? And is it coming from within, or am I listening to someone else? Hey, Rena, thank you so much for joining and being on here with me. Appreciate you joining as well. But here's some of the challenges that we have when it comes to goal setting. Sometimes we set goals that are too low or too small because we have limiting beliefs. We don't believe that we can achieve certain things. We think that perhaps someone else is better equipped, or it may never happen for us. I can't, I don't have the skill set, I don't have the resources, I can't. And so sometimes we stay stuck in roles, we stay stuck in opportunities, in companies, simply because we don't believe that there's more available to us in the marketplace, that there's more available based on the skill sets we have, that there's more opportunity than what someone has maybe told us in the past. And so part of what I want to encourage you to do tonight is, as you're thinking about your goals, being honest with yourself to say, what goals may I have had in the past that I didn't pursue because I didn't think I was good enough, or I didn't think I had the resources, or I didn't have the skill set? And have I been holding myself back from getting the salary that I want, from getting the position that I want, from getting the responsibility that I want? Have I been holding myself back simply because in my head, I'm not ready for that, or I don't have what's required for that? I think about, just even being an entrepreneur right now. For a long time, I never thought that I could fully leap out and be a full-time entrepreneur. It was something for other people. It was something that they could be successful in doing. And it wasn't until I looked at myself and I said, why do I believe that someone else has something that I don't? Why can't I go and be a full-time entrepreneur if that's what I'm being called to do? But it took a while to reconcile in my head. And that's why I was constantly battling with myself, knowing, hey, I'm sitting in one place when I should be full-time serving my clients in a bigger capacity. And so I want to ask you, when you look at your career right now, when you think about the job that you're going to go to in the morning, whether you log in or walk into the office, is part of the reason that you are still there solely because you are not sure about your ability to tap into something else and take a bigger opportunity and make more money? Do you feel like there are doors that are closed to you? Do you feel like there are things that you cannot attract in your life? Because those limiting beliefs will prevent you from pursuing the very things that you want. And so your goals are going to take longer to achieve, because you have these voices in your head that are telling you you aren't good enough. And so to quickly, kind of start to recap, because I don't want to be on here late, keeping you guys up. When you think about approaching your career, when you think about how you're feeling right now, are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling lost? Are you feeling over it? And if that's how you're feeling, it's part of that due to the fact that you haven't taken a step back to ask yourself, what is it that I want? What does my success look like? What are my dreams for my own future? And what are the goals, the incremental goals that I need to set in there in order to achieve them? You can have a big picture vision, but what are the goals that I am willing to set to get there? And here's one more thing about goals. There's a difference between having dreams and actual goals. For many of us, we have an idea of what we want to do, but we never set any timelines. We never set any deadlines. And so we're just kind of going in the wind. And if it happens, it happens. And if that's how we're approaching our future, then it's likely not going to happen. I can't tell you how many clients I have had people who have shown interest in working with me about, hey, I want to take this step forward. I want to leave my job and so forth. But there are no dates, there are no plans. And so we follow up 6 months later saying, hey, how are things going? Because I always check in, even with people who don't book with me right away. I still follow up. And for many of them, they're in the same place. And that's not a slight on them. It's just thinking about, if you have a goal for your future, if there's something that you want, you can't just sit there and say, maybe one day it'll happen. Someday I'll go after it. Because that will also keep you stuck and stagnant where you are, because you're never pushing yourself to actually go after what you want. And so when it comes to your goals, it's about being specific, but also setting deadlines to make sure that you're taking action. And as you're setting those goals, truly evaluating, what are your limiting beliefs? What are your limiting beliefs? What are the things that keep popping up in your mind that are stopping you from going after the things that you want? What are the things that are preventing you from saying, hey, I can get that next job. I can get to that next salary. I can get to that next opportunity. I can leave this toxic environment. I can leave this boss that hates me, whatever it is. What are the limiting beliefs that are stopping you from taking the actions that you need to achieve the goals for your future and that vision of success for your life? And I promise you, if you're willing to take that time, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of other people in the marketplace, simply because too many people are just going with the wind and just seeing what happens to their career. But you have the ability to direct your career, that you are allowed to push it and you're not just being pulled in one direction or another. You have the opportunity to direct your career, and you have the opportunity to achieve your career vision, but it takes you being willing to, one, set the goals, do the self-reflection on your limiting beliefs, and then take action. And so with that, I want to say thank you for spending the past 15 minutes with me talking about career goals and limiting beliefs. Thank you to Rena and Don and Nina for joining tonight's conversation in the chat. So glad to have you all with me. And I just want to recap for anyone who is listening. If you are in need of career support, if you've been listening to this conversation tonight and you're like, I'm ready to stop being stuck, I'm ready to stop being overwhelmed, I'm ready to stop being burnt out, I'm tired of not making enough money, I'm tired of just living paycheck to paycheck, I am ready to elevate, I am ready to get to that next level, I am here to help you. That is what I'm on this earth to do, is to help you improve your professional life and achieve that career vision that you have for yourself. So I would love for you to comment on wherever you're looking at this post. I would love for you to drop the word elevate. And if you're just like, hey, commenting is not my thing, you can send me a DM on any platform. So I'm on which ones? I'm on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. All of these platforms I'm streaming live right now. I'm on Instagram as well. Send me a DM with the word elevate and let's have a conversation. You don't have to end 2024 the same way that you came in. That if your career has just been happening to you over the past 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, if it's just been happening to you, this is an opportunity for it to stop right here, for you to take the aligned action that you need to in order to move your career forward, for you to finally break through that salary barrier, for you to finally have the time that you want to spend with your family, for you to have the time to travel, for you to have the time to go back to school, whatever it is. This is your opportunity to do that. And I am excited to help you. So again, please feel free to drop a comment in the chat that says, elevate, or if you're not comfortable with commenting, not an issue. I would love for you to DM me the word elevate and let's have a conversation. Let's make this last part of 2024 your time to change your career and change your life. Thank you again for watching. I will be back on Thursday with our official episode of The Career Climb. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about careers in cybersecurity. It's going to be an amazing conversation. I hope that you will join us. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night.